about 3 minutes before tip. Appreciate his 58-49. I've really enjoyed working with JD. First time I've ever met Justin Glenn, seen him play, and been a neat opportunity this week. It's been okay with you too, Coach. Top of the key, Cloister came up short. Put back no good by Faust, was blocked. Here's Peters. How did he put that one in over Michael Baker?
That's just the proof of the sovereignty of God there. How he got that up.
58-51, the Trailblazers by 7. 11 minutes to play. Underneath, Jay Allen had his attempt from up close, slapped out of bounds by Peters. It'll remain with OCU.
I think Peters blocked that with his elbow.
Seemed to be a little bit higher than Allen. 58-51, under 11 minutes to play. Cumberland left wing. Snyder Family Chiropractic postgame show is coming up. We'll check in with Curtis Christopher if the Trailblazers win. Give you some final statistics and much more. And Ross Johnson for Randy's got 16. If North Central pulls this one out, we'll ask Coach High 1 or 2 quick questions, so stick around. Pass underneath to Cumberland. Here's Farrell for 3. Back of the rim, no good. Nobody boxed out Jeremy Hayes. And Hayes wisely brings it back out and resets. Left forecourt, it's Mike Farrell. Off a screen, Cumberland, top of the key. Cumberland against Ross Johnson. Left wing Farrell got the step on Roeder and went right to the rim. 10 points for Mike Farrell. He's in double digits. 60-53. The OCU lead is 7. And there's a steal by Jay Allen. OCU 4-on-4. Here's Allen 15 feet away.
They got it down to 5. Couple turnovers, right back up to 9. Roeder attacking.
Roeder to the rim. Farrell slapped it loose, and it's going to go out of bounds off Farrell. John Hyde thought there was some contact. Nothing called. Turnover back to OCU. Tim Baker and James Nelson in. Jay Allen and Michael Baker have a seat.
Got less than 10 minutes left. Ohio's done a nice job to build up this 9-point lead. I think it's very important that North Central not only get this stop, but they need to make a little run here, keep this game at bay. If Ohio can run a couple sets and get a couple of hoops here, it'd be very difficult.
OCU trailed by 2 at the half, and Jeremy Hayes, they tried to overplay, and once they did not steal that pass down low, Jeremy Hayes was a free man to the rim.
Yeah, they didn't need a steal. They need some stops. And right now, there's a sense of defensive panic, and they need to pick that up.
Next time out, I want to talk a little post-defense. Got to get it off my chest, Coach. 64-53. Off a screen, Roeder created a little bit of space. Roeder to the rim. Nobody was fouled. And they're saying, was there some offense or defensive interference? Fouls on Jeremy Hayes. His first, team 5th. John High still making eye contact with Jack Metzger, saying that bucket should have counted. But it doesn't. First free throws up and in for Nathan Roeder. He's got 7. He's been quiet in this game, Coach.
I think Nathan's had a rough day today, trying to do too much. And you can see him trying to gather his thoughts out there, which a mature player, which I believe he's becoming, is really going on. He's trying to gather his thoughts and see what he can do to get himself a little bit in a better position to get the score for his team.
He's a smooth player, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Underneath, Hayes against Koistra, established himself and then raised up and took it right at the rim.
Koistra's got 3 fouls, and he's playing a bit tentative now. And with this much time left, they can't afford to.
No tentative. You pick up a 4th foul, you're still staying in the game. At the 8-minute mark, top of the key, it's Ross Johnson. The lead is 11, 66-55. Johnson got the step. The tip by Koistra, no good, and Jeremy Hayes, another defensive rebound.
Delph's done a really nice job on Roeder here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Roeder got to the line. Again, going for the steal. Not a good defensive decision by...
Felt like Cumberland was in a lane to the rim and instead tried to get it to Nelson. The other end, Roeder, a little runner, no good. Tip, no good. And a rebound, Josh Delph.
North Central needs some stops. They don't need to go for steals. And kids have a tendency, when things are going bad, to try to do too much instead of just playing straight up and getting a turnover being forced by the team.
Here's Cumberland from about 27 feet, and he hit it. 16 for Terrell Cumberland, and the OCU players with some enthusiasm as they lead by 14. John High wants a timeout. Let's take it with him. 7:27 to play in the game. It's 69-55. Let's tell you a little bit about North Central University. Instead of taking that timeout, here's Coach Weary.
North Central University is a Christ-centered university in the heart of downtown Minneapolis. North Central offers more than 30 degree programs, NCCAA athletics, and a campus of 1,200 students. Learn more at northcentral.edu. This is an important discussion going on with Coop and the officials, discussing our question of the first half when the ball was shot and rebounded without a touch in anything. And I said, that's fine, Coop. Coop and I didn't agree at first, but the official has now clarified, and Coop's learned something today. And that was one of my goals, to help Coop, because, he has limited knowledge. And so, Coop, who was right in our discussion?
You were absolutely right. Did you hear what Jack Metzger said, though?
If he caught it, he could dribble it.
He could actually dribble it again.
See, Coop, I knew that too, but you were afraid to ask me because you already thought I was wrong.
You were chewing on that drumstick at the time.
That was last night.
Okay.
Right now, I'm chewing on your ear.
I want to talk post-play a little bit.
Okay.
As a guy that played in the post at 6 feet tall, it's a lost art. They're fronting, three-quarter denials, and I would just get guys off the block.
I have a kid.
Nobody does that anymore.
I have a
Let's
kid.
get physical and get a guy. The difference between a 5-foot shot and a 7 or 8 foot shot.
And that's a big difference.
It's night and day.
Well, I got to tell you this. I got a kid, and this is amazing. His name is Andrew Weary. He's not my son. He spells the name differently. My son's name is Andrew Weary. But this kid, Andrew Weary, that plays for us, is only 6 foot. He may be our best post defender. He moves his feet. He works. He forces guy off the block. Coop, he may not be as good as you were in the post, but this kid can play. I love that.
You know who my days I'm reminded of in this tournament? Brandon Horst. Had 15 rebounds in a game, double-doubles. I just worked like a madman underneath, but I got guys off the block. Little forearm in the back. You're not catching it on the block, and players don't seem to do that anymore. 69-58, 6:30 to play in the game.
I thought you got the 15 rebounds because you took 15 shots.
And the coach said, don't shoot, Coop. Just go play D and get rebounds, set screens.
And you were good with that, weren't you?
I loved it. Yeah. I got rings at the end of the year, and that's all I cared about.
Everybody loves winning.
Fourth foul on Bryce Berkman. It was a loose ball foul, his fourth and the team's sixth. Berkman going to stay in the game with those four. Sitting down is Ross Johnson. He sits down with 16 points. The lead is 11.
This is red alert time right now for North Central. And I like what Ohio's doing here. A lot of coaches aren't doing this anymore. They are going to run the clock down a bit. They're not stopping their offense. They're just running the clock down. But then they execute. They take a good 10 seconds off, maybe 15. You still get the same looks. You just now have limited the touches for North Central. In fact, look at that. They got a layup. This is what coaches, I think, sometimes we don't want players. Players don't like to slow down. But you know what? That's how games are won. You got to execute the end. And we saw that with Dallas and Grace yesterday. The reason those two teams are good is both of them executed at the end. Some would say Dallas didn't. They did. They just didn't go down.
71-58. Koistra got the step. Nicely done on the left side. He's got 8. Don't forget, stick around after the game. Pete Weary and I are going to select the Citizens Bank of Asheville Player of the Game. Citizens Bank of Asheville is Pickaway's oldest independent bank since 1894. And James Nelson, free underneath the rim. He's got a half dozen. 73-60. 5:13 to play. Left side, it's Faust. Back out to Koistra. Koistra to Roeder. Off a screen from Koistra. Bird thought about a 3, instead into the lane. And what are they going to call? The travel as he spun towards the middle. And
I'm not sure about that call.
I'm not sure either. Burt looked a little perplexed. He still does as he's backpedaling up the floor. What do a Hollywood actress, a Fox News anchor, rock star, businessman, and former mob boss have in common. They all have lives that have been changed from tragedy into triumph. Come hear them in person at Circleville Nazarene Church, March 21st through 25th at 7 p.m. For more information, visit tragedyintotriumph.com. Thanks to Pastor Wendell Brown and the folks at Circleville Nazarene for their continued support of OCU athletics. 73-60, 4:45 to play. Here's Baker for three, no good. Offensive rebound, McDaniel.
This is a tough matchup for Peters, and Baker, I think, bailed him out by shooting a jump shot. This is what he needs to do. Now he's going to create something.
Into the lane, runner no good. Koistra got a hand on it, ends up in the hands of Burt. Burt beat Farrell to the basket. They're going to say no shot as Farrell got him on the floor before he released the ball. Second foul on Mike Farrell, sixth on the team. 4:27 to play, 73-60. The Trailblazers.
That's a good foul because, there's no 1-on-1, and instead they make him take a ball out of bounds, not get that layup.
Absolutely. 16 fouls on both teams as we approach 4:15 to play. Roeder, top of the key to Koistra, just inside that three-point line. To Burt right forecourt. Roeder will set things up with 15 on the shot clock. 4:03 to play in the game. The lead is 13 for the winners of the Mid-East region. Underneath, they're going to say that Peters stepped on the baseline. He says he was pushed out of bounds, but either way, it's a turnover back to OCU.
I think when Nate passed the ball to him, he had the shot, and I think he tried to do too much instead of taking the easy look, and he might have got bumped a bit, but he put himself in that predicament.
Nothing more frustrating than an offensive player working to create a shot for his teammate instead of shooting it, puts it on the floor and turns it over.
Right.
73-60. Hayes tried to make the extra pass to McDaniel. McDaniel couldn't control it. Tim Baker, left baseline. Farrell, a great look, and he hits again. Mike Farrell has made a living on that baseline.
Dagger.
76-60. Here's Johnson's 15-footer, no good. Cumberland a defensive rebound.
North Central looks a little bit gassed right now. That was kind of disheartening. They're working hard, gave the effort. You whip it out to Farrell, and he drains it.
Does Cumberland make the all-tournament team in this tournament? Has he been that good fighting with the illness? Underneath, it's Tim Baker who drops it up and in. He's got 13.
Well, there's a lot of good players in this tournament, and, he had the one game where he was not good because he was sick. I will tell you this much. He's an all-tournament type player. Whether they give the vote to him or not, he has been a really, really standout player in this tournament.
The foul is on McDaniel. It's his third. Score the basket for Levi Koistra. He's now in double digits with 10. Actually giving a media vote this year. I'm honored to be a part of that. I'm going to take that responsibility very seriously.
Does that mean I got to help you?
No.
Yeah, because you want to take it seriously.
11 points for Levi Koistra. He makes the free throw, and John High takes the timeout. 2:54 to play. Why don't we take it? Well, it's a 30. Let's keep it right here. Tell you a little bit more about North Central University,
which is a close-knit campus. It's a community of 1,200 students in the heart of downtown Minneapolis. North Central offers more than 30 different liberal arts and ministerial degree programs. Learn more at northcentral.edu.
Trailblazers with 4 players in double digits. 16 for Hayes, 16 for Cumberland, 15 for 15 for Farrell, 13 for Tim Baker.
Now, how long have you been doing OCU?
2 seasons. 2.5 seasons.
Okay, Farrell, not Harold.
Thank you. Stick around after the game. We'll select the Citizens Bank of Asheville Player of the Game. Citizens Bank of Asheville wants you to celebrate at any age. Open a Club 60 account today and celebrate free checking. This is for you, Coach Weary. His free checking account designed for those 60 years and over. It also includes free checks. Stop at any of our 4 offices today and open your Club 60 account today.
You know, I'm 49, but after working with you for these last few days, I feel like I'm 60.